2, 3.
My name is Elizabeth, and I am a children's bookseller here at the Alameda store. And this is an ancient favorite of mine. It was re-released 3 years ago, just before Christmas, and it is a wonderful collection of not only fairy tales, but poetry about the fairy realm. It has stories you have never, ever seen anywhere else. It even has boys interacting with the magical world. It is a splendid collection. It is called The Golden Treasury of Elves and Fairies. It is illustrated by the great Garth Williams. It is very old. My personal copy was bought for me in 1961. It originally came out in 1953. This is a terrific book. And for those of us who mourn the going out of print of Serpent Slayer, there is another book of strong women, specifically goddesses, by the same team. It was the last book that the great Trina Sharp-Hyman worked on. And it is called Changing Woman and Her Sisters, Stories of Goddesses from Around the World. It covers so many civilizations. It has China. It has Senda, who is an Inuit goddess. She is their primary deity, and she lives in the sea. It is a splendid collection for boys and girls. It has Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion from China. It's a great, great collection. And I would say anywhere up from about 4 or 5 years on up for both of those books. Now I want to talk about 2 books that are part of the New York Review of Books and New York Public Library collection. And it's so wonderful they're doing this work. One is The Rescuers. It's the return of Miss Bianca by Marjorie Sharp. It's the beginning of the series. I hope they bring all of them back into print. Many of you read The Rescuers, or you read Miss Bianca and you missed this book. It's great for any girl, a really strong reader in about 3rd grade on up. And then there's this, The 13 Clocks by James Thurber. This is some of the wildest language you are ever going to read. You will discover that a person can be cut from their guggle to their zatch. You will find out about the Daleks, who is not a mere device. And you will find out about a terrible, terrible duke who has convinced himself that he has slain time. The 13 Clocks by James Thurber. The Rescuers by Marjorie Sharp. It is so fine to have these old friends back. But the best middle reading book, I think, of this year is The Clockwork Three. Brand new book by Matthew Kirby. The name of the city where these 3 children are is never given. It's either Boston or New York. One is a little Italian boy who's a busker on the streets. One is a girl who works in a hotel. And one is a boy who is an apprentice clockmaker. And this is the automaton that they create. And many mysteries are unwoven, and great things happen, and terrible things happen. It's very Dickensian. And I really think this is a splendid book. It is a standalone. There is not going to be a series. Thank you very much for listening to me.